Peace be upon you. Okay, Saturn in Aries. Aries being your opposite sign. 7th house, so relationship, covenants, contracts, whether dissolution or making new arrangements, agreements, encounters, unions, contracts, purchases and sales, relationships, or overall resolutions, decisions, choices. And I feel the sense of great restitution for many Libras. The Mercury retrograde speaks about all the things that you either invested or put some effort into in the past, either paying up or for long-lost relationships, connections. There's an opportunity to either pick them back up, give them another chance, clarity, resolutions, reconciliation in some cases, or at least being given the opportunity to do so. Something's either has the chance of being restored, recuperated, found if you lost items, etc., opportunities or control over something. Again, you're being given what seems to feel as if a second chance, a genuine chance this time around, an actual opportunity, a true shot at something. Yeah. It's a very fast energy. Once you enter that chapter, or that, it's just going to unfold pretty quickly. In the upper realms, it's already pre-shuffled. We have the Page of Swords in reverse, the Four of Cups in reverse, doing something even if it's not you, it's not within your character or habit or pattern, or entertaining ideas that otherwise you wouldn't, or they defy what feels to be the logical course of action or choice. Or so you're willing to live, or at least test or force or break out of either limitation boxes, or overcome current challenges, conquer, defeat. You're showing resilience, strength, determination. There's clarity. You have clear priorities, boundaries, limits, desires, etc. But it starts with either speaking up or being very firm or clear on what you no longer want. Okay. And when it comes to self-talk, when it comes to decision-making processes, you're not going to put that much weight or give too much importance to what feels or seems to be the logical thing to do. But rather, you're going rather more from intuition, inner knowing, wisdom, experience. So you are taking chances, you are willing to take chances. It's very important for expansion. Defying odds, I hear. Something is either entirely different, or if not completely opposite. Whether it's your lifestyle, your approach, your attitude, your mentality, the manner in which you do things, or your entire reality may shift altogether. Tower. This is self-empowerment, some form of embracing or embodying independence, willpower, acting out of free will based on inner knowing. Doesn't always have to make sense. The Tower, yeah, made, as I said, some form of a 180, or starting from scratch, or a revolutionary energy here. With the horse fire, we have retrogrades, etc., etc., etc. But Aries is also about foundation, power, or status within the world, independence, affirming oneself, or pursuing or acting from a space of empowerment, trust in oneself, in one's ability, in the universe, in how things are unfolding. And there's courage, determination, and empowerment. Many of you will come into roles of either leadership or being given more authority or responsibilities, or the Ten of Swords is in reverse. Again, this energy of something doesn't have to be completely over or beyond saving, or something can be saved here. Whether it's a dream or hope that you had, whether it's something that you never really got to experience in your life, and this is telling you there is hope. This is your opportunity, the world. Except you have to be in the state of expansion and willingness to explore and entertain possibilities, dare to dream, dare to hold the vision, but most important, dare to take action from that space and towards that goal. So I feel that's exactly what you're doing. The devil. This is about, again, long-term contract. And so the choices or decisions that you're about to make are going to basically impact your reality for the long term. These are covenants, promises, taking on more responsibility again, whether you're making them or someone else or vice versa. You meet people that you come into either agreements, alliances, partnership with, sign new contracts, make important life decisions in general. This is no energy that tells us, just small changes here and there. No, this is Tower. This is it's all or nothing kind of an energy. I either get it or I don't, do or die, and so etc. etc. Let's look in the lower realms. So at the heart of the matter, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Accepting, or rather coming into this understanding that what you currently have or whatever has been offered to you or is available or is insufficient. It's not enough. There are a lot of things that you're going to let go of, whether that's in regards to your diet, things, how you again treat or see yourself, life, how you interact with others, the kind of things that you would accept or put up from others, your social circle, environment, the people you're willing to deal with or the energies you're willing to entertain. They're changing. You're a lot clearer when it comes to what's resonating, what's vibrating on the frequency that you're trying to anchor yourself into. And no, this is starting to change and shift your reality. It's either we do or we don't, literally. If something doesn't feel natural, if something doesn't flow smoothly, and not because you're afraid of a challenge here, you're quite willing to take on a challenge and put the effort, and but hold true to the vision and move in that direction, build and work on something. But again, it has to have the proper initial foundations. You're either with me or you're not. So when it comes to, again, relationships, how you connect with others, things that you're trying to manifest, projects or plans that you may be either pursuing or seeking to bring forward or channel or manifest into reality, if they don't feel right, you're quite able to pivot at any time, to just drop it and okay, let's keep going. We don't have time. There is the sense of urgency, and there's a risk of you either burning stages or, again, there's this energy of you either going left or right. So at this point, if you're unable, or for some reason you consciously choose to drop something entirely, it's dropped for good. Vice versa, if you choose at this time to pick up on something, pursue something, manifest something, you're not going to give up until you actually succeed. Strong determination here, or resistance, or having made the choice to drop something entirely. There's no half measure here. Clear decisions being taken, transformative, extremely powerful decisions that will affect both your daily life, quality of life, social circle, status, and overall perception and experience. No half measure, I hear. No half promises, no ifs or buts or maybes, or you have to feel that something is right. You have to feel it, fueling, animating, inspiring you, motivating you. You need that catalyst. That's what what you were looking for all along, and it seems that it's to be already there, one way or the other. However, that translates in your external reality, you feel that fire within you. You're ready for action, for advancement, for expansion, for overcoming, healing, leaving behind you, releasing. It's channeled, focused energy here. It's very specific. Okay, we have already one card. The Eight of Cups in reverse. You're putting an effort, especially in regards to the things that you haven't been able to leave behind. You're making a decision in regards to that. If there's any chance for you to restore or recuperate or get something out of something that you've been working on or that you're yet to drop entirely, whether that's a relationship, work, a job, something you were working on or holding on to wait, for the positive outcomes or the results, something's got to give. The energy of something's got to give. But you're also able to individuate all of the things that kind of are pulling you or holding you back. Or at the same time, again, for those of you who are able to recognize now that they raise to conscience level all desires or dreams or that you've kind of never really pursued or never felt as if they could become reality, or you're actually giving them another chance. Again, there are things that may come back around with the Eight of Cups. They're not entirely released, but in some cases, there's a reason for that. Maybe the timing was off. Maybe it required some extra, there was dynamics there that required some extra information, some extra clarity, someone to, go through other cycles until they actually reveal their own desires and make their own decisions if there was another person involved. And miraculous, get-togethers, meetings, encounters, what appears to be miraculous, unexpected, amazing, second chances energy, most definitely with the Eight of Cups here. Okay, apparently we're not going to pick the cards, they pick themselves. On the left hand we have Four of Wands. Again, that four, stability, foundations, principles, desires, and alignment in those. It's very important for you, whether it's to do with your work environment, whether it's to do the people that are present in your life, whether on a personal level, family, social connections, friendships, or on a personal level, your partner needs to match you in this energy. It has to be as in an equal exchange of some sort. Both of you needs to feel as if they've reached the state all on their own, and they're bringing the same thing to the table. And when I say the same, I mean the energy, the intention, the willingness, the desire, the decision, the clarity, the effort, the sacrifice, right? They need to extend the same thing you're extending. So you're looking for genuine reciprocity and alignment. And it's either my partner or no one at all. How will I recognize them? We will match in energy. They will feel right. However that translates. The Eight of Swords, upcoming energy for the Tower. Again, liberation, liberating oneself, taking it upon oneself to do so, not being too concerned about neither pointing fingers, looking at anyone else's journey, or no, you're not going to do that. As for anyone else trying to do that to you, it's not going to touch you. As we say here, the dogs may bark, but the caravan keeps going, right? Yep. You're directed, you're focused, you're not going to care anymore. You're not seeking either for validation or to prove a point per se, or no, you're just forging your way. Authenticity, freedom, unapologetically so, pursuing what you need, your desires, it's sovereign energy. And Four of Wands speaks again of marriages, contracts, relocating, improving your overall quality of life and finding stable grounds to build on. But you have to be aligned again in the energy, in the passions, in the desires, with the person that you got, people or person that you're going to connect with, regardless of the nature of said connection, whether it's to do with projects, work, and It's very independent energy. Bottom of the deck, we have death. So another card of powerful transformation, scorpionic energy, karma. Karma versus dharma, right? Renewal. Again, do or die, all or nothing. I'm ready for this change. In some cases, again, it may be major to the point of you completely, entirely leaving behind everything you felt you were, you knew your. So this implies your shift in attitude, inevitably having those already present in your life, or having known you up in that certain form at that stage or in that state, being completely shocked or unable to even recognize you. This is it. Yeah, it's no small transformation here. It's rebirth with the tower. You're allowing the old to go and crumble. You're still willing to see what's left with the recovery energy. Recuperate, pick back on something. For many of you, it's about having the courage to finally explore a passion that's still there, whether that's artistic talent, whether that's something you always wanted to do. You're finally in the right space and energy, especially within your own personal timelines, but collectively as well, to actually have a go at it, pursue it, do it. With no fear, with the Eight of Swords, this is powerful. No concern or fear, neither for the feedback, anyone else's opinion. You're no longer conditioned, nor moved or motivated by validation or having failed to pursue or express yourself or channel this into the world out of fear of judgment or criticism or failure. You don't care anymore. You don't feel as if you're going to fail, because as long as you feel this empowerment, whereas you say, I am what I am, take it or leave it, then you're already a winner. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You're no longer too concerned about your own survival or self-sustenance or ability to do something on your own. You're no longer as in need or having the feeling or sensation of your prosperity. Again, you're beyond validation, or however that translates, whether in rewards, acknowledgement, the amount of salary or pay that you receive for a job or work that you may do. You're past that. But the most important part is, again, not waiting for anyone to neither come save you, nor it doesn't mean you're not going to take anyone that you perceive as an equal or to match you in that vision or energy to get you. You're gonna want to collaborate, but again, only with those you perceive as equals that you resonate with. Anyone else is irrelevant to this part of this chapter of your journey right now. It's the most important stage because you're setting the foundations for something amazing that you're going to build on. Elsewhere, yes, you're moving also mentally, and again, I feel the sensation of having found strength and serenity within yourself without the need of further validation or you being defined by circumstances or things that have happened or have done to you, anyone else's needs, experience, opinions, or they're not relevant, or at least they're not detrimental or crucial when it comes to you deciding on things. They're not relevant. You're not going to take it neither too personally nor too hard, because again, you're making decisions from within based on what's best for you. And you do feel this need to either expand or move past something, leave something behind. While at the same time, you're not fearful of exploring the emotional impact that comes with it. You understand the necessity on how energy basically works, how it goes through the various stages, whether that's release, mourning, forgiveness. You understand the necessity of not trying to neither suppress, ignore, avoid, forget, entirely skip certain stages of a painful process. Not burying it in the subconscious, not trying to define it, neither this nor that, nor you're facing things for what they are. You're allowing emotions to come to fully, unfold within you, because you understand that it's going to go through various stages and it brings precious gifts with it. at the end of the process, if you're courageous enough to explore the entire range of emotions that it brings throughout the entire process, you cannot skip stages, and you know that. So careful about, that tendency to either burn yourself out, overdo it, disregard other important aspects of your life that may not seem extremely relevant to whatever it is that you're trying to create or manifest here or build for yourself. uh, Again, it's do or die. You're not going to get stuck in this dichotomy of needing to decide or indecision or trying to do more than one thing at a time. Your energy is not scattered, it's channeled, it's focused, and a decision is already made. You don't need anyone to neither do it for you. You're not looking towards anyone else, because you understand everybody's journeys is their own. Fully embracing your path here, very powerful. Liberation, illumination. But remember, it will incite jealousy and envy, and I feel you're ready for that. You're aware of that, hence Eight of Swords in reverse. I don't care, I'm going to free myself. And I will no longer value myself or make choices based on anybody else's opinions So leaving people behind, especially the problematic ones, those that did not back you up, support you, they don't have the heart in the right place. Or in some cases, they simply don't feel home. They don't feel as if they get you, they understand you, they resonate with you. And any further messages? The book, Ten of Pentacles, increasing wealth, security. Again, whatever it is that you're building here, work, 26. Especially if you choose the right people to either seek counsel, advice, cooperate, and work with, exchange, whether wisdom, experience, and partner up with, work with, and so on. Choosing the right people is extremely important, but also the right tools, resources, and accepting one's limitation is very important as well. Ace of Wands in reverse. There's that risk of you burning stages, jumping the gun, as they say, or being anxious or overly excited, or once having made that choice, you may have this tendency of needing to break out of something, leaving something behind by skipping stages. So careful about impulsivity, burnout, mischanneling of this fire. Patience, balance it out with patience. Don't burn stages. It is what it is. It will require what it will require. Quite capable of recognizing. And patience is required for you to gain either more information when the time is right, as you go through the stages and the steps that it takes for you to build this. Patience, as if you were planting seeds, tending to the crop, right? Acknowledging all the moving parts and variables involved in the process, right? Keeping in touch with the gift giver, right? Acknowledging the forces of nature at work, and etc., 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 etc. And here's the 7 in your 7th house in reverse. For those that have already been stuck in toxic cycles, in a loop, in mazes, in confusion. And again, there's this need to break out. It appears as violent, unexpected, shocking, painful, even brutal, but it's necessary. And I feel many finally have that spark and have made the decision, at least at an emotional level, to do so. I'm done with them, So the things that need to be let go of, again, that energy of do or die. It's that decision. I guess call it also the grand rising. So this is you leaving behind either people, connections, relationships. Within your relationship with yourself is leaving behind either a mindset, a perception of yourself. And here's that 9 of Pentacles, the Death card again, embracing full-blown transformation. You're putting something entirely to rest. But the intention here is to actually get yourself to the point that you now see as necessary, whereas you're ready for a new beginning. Once you decide to believe in miracles, the things that keep you or prevent you from doing so are clearly revealed, and that's what you're doing. You're pulling all of those weeds out. Okay, this is a problem. We're not going to work with this. Let's pull the weeds out. Within, without, doesn't matter. So you're going to be very quick to individuate what doesn't work for you. But again, you cannot burn stages. There is mourning. Many of you either experience losses or news of loss, or 8-8. Okay, 7. 8-8-7. Something is meeting halfway. Again, something is, despite all odds, where there were things unknown, unseen, and you realize that the only limit was you. You were called to make a decision. So whether this is a eureka, a new burst of new energy, sometimes it translates via an external means as an amazing opportunity, a news. For some, it can also be inheritance. This can have to do with unexpected revelation of secrets that will transform your life and pull you out of a cycle one way or the other. Brings about major transformation, but it cuts both ways in the sense of you got to lose some to win some. That's the energy. Home, inheritance that may affect your current living situation. And for many, there's a need to either transition, or we say here, man sanctifies the place. Where you're going to be at any given time has to align or present the potential for you to either work with it, expand, has to align with who you currently are, what you're aiming to become or manifest, however that translates. You're looking for those resources. If they're not there, you're just going to keep flowing. Whether that means you're going to change location because the spirit of the land doesn't align, is not a fertile one. Karmically speaking, that land specifically may be going through actual judgment and so on. So they're getting karma. You may be guided towards a land that, based on its own specific destiny right now, is at the point that's getting dharma, right? They're on the up and up of the wheel. It's expanding it. You see more potential. You see an ability to find your place within that land, society, culture, workforce, and so on. You need something that allows you the potential for growth. The 4 in reverse. You're also leaving behind or being very quick to recognize someone who is not aligning with you when it comes to the foundations that you need and whatever it is that you're trying to build. Relationship, this means you're going to be quick to recognize a possible partner that you may either receive offers from that's either disingenuous, or their perception or love language or perception of love in general or relationship does not align with yours. Simple as that. Nothing personal. I'm sorry, do that, whatever. Nah, not for me. Very quick. For the masculines, if they were exploring their own feminine, doing shadow work and have gotten stuck when it comes to their ability to manifest here, there's this grand rising energy. All of a sudden, they're going to become quite clear. Something may instill that within them. Something triggers, or it becomes a catalyst of it. Says, you know what, I'm done. I feel so disempowered. What is this? What am I even doing? I get it. We had to go through this. The transformation needed to occur. For those who were in the dark night, they went through all of the stages. And even though it's painful, they're ready to release something entirely. Hey, wasn't it. Or even if it was just a chapter, I'm ready to move past it now. When it comes to their choice in partners, when it comes to them embracing their purpose, occupation, career, again, culture, living environment, what is it that I'm building here? How am I channeling my energy? Last but not least, it's a 7 of Pentacles. Again, fair assessment, especially when it comes to location, marriages, partnership, what connects two people, whether again is to do with work, family in general, right? Friendship or relationships. I need someone whom I can build with. So there's a proper, fair assessment when it comes to whom everybody's going to choose here, whom they're going to work with. 12 is about a meeting or an encounter of people from various backgrounds with different levels of cultural levels or different abilities and natures to them, but that seem to kind of be united by a force that defies their differences, or rather even turns them into perks and beneficial, complementary set of skills and abilities. In any other circumstance, they may have been problematic, they may have caused clashes, or they may have appeared as not necessarily compatible. So this is a meeting of the most unexpected, or the pairing, or the union, or the alliances that in any other stage would have been deemed completely incompatible, an ultimate failure, or even problematic, antagonistic, conflictual, destructive, karmic. This is saying that once the heart shifts, the intention is different, then you can connect with people that, again, in any other circumstance. This also speaks of spiritual progress in the sense of overcoming the limiting beliefs, removing programming, karmic patterns all throughout generations and so on, such as bigotry. It's in its actual genuine form. Never mind political correct, all that nonsense. No, actual limits. One has managed to find those limits within themselves. They're able to be more authentic, whereas others are also able at the same time to absolutely own and be fully transparent when it comes to their needs, things that don't vibe with them, things that they don't like. And so authenticity, for better or worse, somebody's willing to take whatever comes with it. They may appear as, unempathetic, or they reserve their loyalties for those that they actually feel they can build with. People are seeking to align, to resonate, to not in natures or skills or abilities, because we no longer move in that sense based on that limiting belief that we all have to be alike. And no, we're not looking for uniformity, singularity, etc., etc., etc. No, we're looking for encounters with people of actual, that bring something to the table again, much like we're willing to do it, to do the same, and only seeking to see how and with whom are we compatible, can we build something with, precisely because of our differences, right? There's more richness in diversity. This is the revelation. But there's also the burden and the challenging task that we each individually need to take upon us, to not try and force connections, but rather just recognize them, individuate. And we're not even pursuing them per se. We're just moving on our own path and embracing opportunities as they arise, by constantly keeping our own shadows at bay and doing our own work when it comes to removing limiting beliefs that prevent us from growing, expanding, connecting, etc., and manifesting something long-lasting over any positive impact within the world. But it does speak also of structures. So this speaks about the major changes, many coming into roles again of authority, leadership, and taking on jobs or that they would have never really expected to. But somehow it still makes sense. Somewhere within them, they may have still had that, spark of wanting to participate, whether it's within the justice system, whether it's to do with, I don't know, institutions of any sort, all right? Commerce, business, education, etc., etc., etc. Someone really realized the need for some form of revolution here. And they're quite excited to be part of that revolution, or at least someone who's going to be participating in the setting down of foundations, or the restoration of proper foundations, when it comes to something that ultimately impacts either a community or is of some service to humanity as a whole. So something that's important when it comes to the structure of our society, reality, but it has to do with principles, right? Justice, again, beauty, community, purpose, diversity, selflessness, and so on. There's a lot of energy to either expand, a willingness to explore, to pivot, to break out of patterns that are not useful, nor are they necessary to build with or upon, and the individuation and the call to actually build on a certain set of foundations, whether that's moral qualities, principles, common desires, collective goals and needs and aspirations. And this is selflessness, service. Bottom of the deck is the removal of mountains, the Eight of Wands in reverse. These are all the things that you're not going to invest in because you don't see the point in. You don't see the purpose on why you should even do it and waste all of that energy. Or so you're going to stay true to whatever you feel it's motivating or worth investing in. Very powerful. Also, you're not going to try and challenge anything per se or go against something. You see the uselessness in, needing to either defend yourself, your choices. You're not going to do it. This also speaks of you being able to recognize anyone who's not willing to join you on this journey. And right, it's very important. Again, people you cannot work with, projects that don't stand a chance because of lack of foundation or the right people or willingness or timing sometimes, or proper vision in regards to why would we even do that to begin with. But first and foremost, who's going to do it? Well, not me. So you're going to be so you're both as capable of saying no to a challenge, whereas at the same time, it is because you're saying yes to a different kind of a challenge or provocation or something that either inspires, moves you, motivates you. Having the courage to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this instead. Not being dragged by other people's pursuits or what has been portrayed or presented as the ultimate goals to pursue. You're saying, nah, I'm not doing that. So this is also the shattering of the old foundations, right? There's also a saying here that comes to mind, which is, if Muhammad doesn't go to the mountain comes to Muhammad. It speaks about the importance of alignment, the clarity when it comes to you, who you are, your desires, etc., your priorities, and the power of belief, determination, willpower. A lot of foundations for collapsing. Look, this is also the revival or restoration of ancient knowledge, wisdom. And there's this feeling of the ancestors that karmic cycles not being completely over, wholeness, right? Even though they're no longer here in physicality, we now feel as a whole, one in heart and spirit. So look, foundations again, reversed. Look, the roots being stripped. So yeah, it also has to do with genealogy, previous cycles, previous forms in which you were here. And there's the realization that we just come back around in a different form. Each of us was either, I don't know, Cleopatra, Abraham, or whatever characters. And there's no questions asked when it comes to recognizing anyone who doesn't or hasn't conquered or doesn't embody the quality of genuine friendships, willingness to serve, loyalty, and that predisposition and openness and willingness in the heart has not made the choice to serve the highest good. Whether that's on a personal, you're not dealing with that. So you're going to leave behind anyone who lacks in moral virtue or sincerity or hasn't made progress. You're not even keen on discovering what's lurking. This is also finally, again, that Eight of Cups energy in reverse, finally being able to release something energetically, emotionally. And in some other cases, not entirely or completely. You're just coming to a newfound understanding of something, and it may call you back now. And you say, okay, I see differently now. I see why I was given that talent or that vision or that experience or that painful realization, or I see the purpose of it and I'm going to use it. I'm past the point of pain, right? And now what I see is the blessing that it brings, right? The wisdom, the insight that I conquered throughout that experience. Now that I rose above it, now that I was finally making a decision to leave it behind, there it is. It's the same with a relationship, with same if you have a genuine connection in the heart with someone. Is that feeling of I feel this person, I see the connection differently, I see the importance on us, that me and that person having met at the time that we did. I see the blessing that it brought. I also see why I couldn't move past it. I just completely misunderstood the purpose of the connection, but I see it now. It brought me the opportunity to better understand myself, explore, expand, overcome limiting beliefs, dogma, doctrine, etc., etc. To transcend something, to rise above something, to conquer something powerful, liberating, and absolutely necessary, right? So it's a sacrifice that reveals itself to having been a blessing in disguise. Yeah. So it's connection also with ancestors. And again, for the masculine, this is the integration of the feminine and have been able to them allowing and having made that decision to find their other person counterparts. In many cases, they will have to go back if they needed to do work temporarily because they got scared, or if they met a feminine that was just not their type, or in general, then triggered shadow work, right? They had to go within the subconscious, make a choice, and they have to go back now. The five, the changes that they needed to make, the inner conflict, inner battle, dark night. In the twin flames dynamics, it means that those who actually still have that connection, now purified, etc., after years and years, sometimes up to 8 years, for example, they're brought back together in mysterious ways. Of course, the connection is still extremely powerful, and so there is no mystery to that. There may be mystery in regards to their own lives in general, what happened. There are no explanations. There may have been no communication here, but the connection was always there. But again, you see this energy of no roots, no foundation, flipping things on their head. A lot of energy that tells us about the change that we take upon ourselves to make, or at least willingly participate in. Make the most out of. Hey, it is what it is. I'm just going to fully participate. I choose to, rather than feel as if there are forces working against me. I'm completely powerless. It's everybody else's call or decision to make, or I'm powerless. I don't know what. No, I take it. I know, I understand. This is I take it. Honoring one's desires, needs, vision, feelings, emotions, staying true to oneself, first and foremost. And many forms of betrayal, but I believe the ultimate form of betrayal begins or starts or would be defined as betrayal of oneself, which should never be an option to begin with. So no more of that, right? Again, you see, there's an opportunity also for redemption, gaining clarity, etc. So those who are meant to come back, they will. That doesn't mean they will be granted the opportunity to try again. Not for the masculines. Many of you may have missed your chance, but general wise, for the feminine, I guess it's on her to decide on whether she wants to try again, pick something back up from the past, work on it, and the feminine will decide based on whether she feels as if the masculine has achieved the growth or not. What she needs is, of course, absolute transparency, honesty, proper intention, not the practical aspects, because she's not concerned about that. Actually, feminine is all about let's build together. So she doesn't care about anything else whatsoever anymore, whether that's your financial status, no. She's there for it as long as your heart is in the right place and she feels the willpower that you've made a decision that's all she needs. Are we aligned in what we actually want? Priority, spiritual degree, or are we not? That's all that she matters. Hence, everybody's seeking for compatible partners. Past, future, irrelevant. There's no such thing. All that matters is now. 55, resistance to change, persuasion in reverse. And again, I see you strongly, Libras, that you're not going to push anything on anyone here. Nothing. It either flows, it lands, or it doesn't. Period. Simple, to the point. We're not wasting any time here. When it comes to the pentacles in reverse, there's this realization that, hey, Time is a major asset or resource here. I'm going to use it. So hence, whatever you deem to be wasteful, or you don't see the purpose in, or it it just doesn't vibe with your, no, I'm not dealing neither with your energy, nor am I going to try and change your own mind or convince anyone of anything. No, we're done with that. Completion in reverse, 17:8. There's that energy of the whatever is lingering, tying the loose ends, drawing lines in the sand, shutting doors, shutting boxes, throwing things, people out, your mind, your heart, your space, your life, your reality. Changes, substitution, recuperation. Again, strong energy of being able to pick back on something, whether that's a talent or something that you were really keen on doing or exploring or imparting with the world or experiencing. There is a chance. Believe in miracles. This is it. 7 in your 7th house, especially for unions party. If there was another person involved that you connected deeply with, that you care deeply about, and love beyond all and any reasoning whatsoever, there's a chance to actually either reconnect with them or to achieve some release, some newfound way of either relating, connecting with them, or even feeling about that connection. There's forgiveness, release, and this may also tie in with all the things we need to release also in a physical, tangible sense. Our perception of reality, the old way in which we used to give worth or value to our journey here or experience based on what we felt we needed to achieve, old goals, but also people, old friends. And the most important part, old versions or perceptions of yourself or others in this case. Another reversal here is adventure in reverse. An adventure or something is not completed. It's yet to begin. 24. It was out of alignment. And the Phoenix energy. Wow. There are things that need to be burned completely to the ground within you here. But this is also the ever-consuming, self-propelling kind of a fire. You're allowing something to come through fully, envelop you, and even, yes, if you may not be entirely able to control it, or whether this is a passion, a desire, a decision, or you embodying specific force or creative ability or talent, or 5 major changes, transformation, grand risings. Last but not least, the upheaval energy in reverse, but you're not doing it with the intention of revolutionizing per se for the mere sake of doing so, because there is some false sense of empowerment there where we are finally feeling as if we're back in our own power. If we're not careful, power corrupts the hearts. I feel there is no actual desire for you to directly affect anyone else around you, but you're willing to take the inevitable consequence that comes with self-empowerment, which is you cannot make everyone happy. You cannot fulfill other people's desires. You cannot, right? So you're not intentionally going to seek to harm, or God forbid, but it's going to be inevitable. Out of my way or my fire will burn you. Ownership of who you are fully, completely, and entirely. If you cannot handle me, boy, girl, get out of the way. As in, don't get too close to the fire if you're not ready for it. It's the same for our relationship with the Creator. We understand the necessity of stages. Light, wisdom, power, success, bliss can corrupt, can shatter, can destroy, can, right, wanting something. So you're not moved by desire per se. You're rather embodying that desire, acting from it. It's not pushing you from behind. It's not luring you, dragging you with the dangling carrot somewhere. If you go here, you do. No. You're embodying it as divine purpose, as you being sovereign. And here with that very purpose, it's not just about you embodying and willing to own who you are currently, or what you feel you need to achieve or channel into the world, but for better or worse, etc. But rather you see it as you being in service, you having been created to do just this. So this is a service also done in faith, in fully embracing one's role and part in the world. And however the creator intended you to illuminate it, that's how you're gonna roll with it. You're not even trying to control that too much. Revolution. Ah, yeah, there it is. There it is. I think I'm gonna close this here. We could have gone all throughout, but I feel for now, if you want to inquire further down this journey in specific details or etc. But I think this is it. I'm just gonna read this card for you. Proofless revolution. There it is. Fire, fire, fire. Remember, it has two aspects to it: destructive and constructive, if you want, right? Fertile, but illuminating and so on. But you can't have one without the other. Remember that. You just have to be aware. Don't lose focus or presence, so that you know what's being burned and what is being, or you called to actually choose to manifest in its stead from the ashes of what was. So it is about inner alchemy and overall metaphysical transformation here. You're not responsible for anyone else's journey in that sense. But in the great journey of the human soul, which is one, we are just different sparks. Someone, at least, is finally coming back into being what they were created to be. Sacred divine emanation, a spark, a light unto the world. You're gonna impact the world in ways that you're no longer trying to control, nor should you. Yep, removing blockages, resisting to forces that try to subdue, limit, or restrict us, rule, disempower us, and so on. Let me read the card for you. And for whomever this message is. Oh, karma. Do we look at the karma angels? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It called on me. Number 4. Proofless, also known as Bufas. The element is air. The planet is sun. Who cannot handle you, maybe they're not ready to aspire towards coming too close to the sun. The message is, but if they did, well, they were courageous in doing so. They have to take the transformation that comes with it. Some form of a death, right? Self-destruction, immolation, and then rebirth. Only the brave, only the ready, only the courageous, right? Only the worthy. So you conquered something by taking chances. Yes, you went through the powerful process of death and rebirth over and over as many times as necessary until you found your core, you returned to source. Message is, at times of confusion and misunderstanding, seek like-minded allies. Proofless originally dwelt at the side of the Tower of Babylon, where she often took the form of a bright pillar of flame. The pillar of flame. Lightning, therefore, creative ideas, amazing events, etc., etc. The owl being her totem bird, wisdom, Athena, etc. She is the enemy of complacency and arrogance and likes to stir up conflict and war. At least that's how you're going to be perceived, right? Who you are comes with its own, consequences. Giving generous aid to the side that she favors. Giving on one end, limiting or restricting on another. What do you say no to? What do you say yes to, right? What's got to go? What's got to happen? You decide. Her appearance heralds revolution, an upheaval that may be alarming and cause some grief, but can lead to good in the end. It's necessary. Whatever you deem is necessary is necessary. Here are the ancestors, previous versions of yourself, guiding the way. Karma angels. Are we going to look at this? Okay. You see, you got to flow with it. Doesn't matter. 6 in reverse, taking on failures or even choosing to actually make someone entirely fail, collapse it, destroy it, and in order to have a different kind of a victory. Famine and sickness. And fertility, and as I said, they go hand in hand. To each their own. Karma, dharma. That's what it is. Some go below, others need to go up. They're necessary now, so nature and everything is going to protect them, invest them, lead them, or give them whatever they need, infuse them with whatever they need. Obviously, the forces that are here at work, they're going to do their part, hence why we have an angel for each attribute or divine attribute. They're doing their part, you allowing, right? And they're going to work through us. Some will be in charge of destruction, some of while building something else, or either in order to protect, preserve, etc. Whereas others will be all about building, creating, procreating, and so on, protecting, nurturing. So famine and sickness, strife, tribulation, challenge that brings forth the spirit necessary for us to expand in a new direction, reconnect with one another and with our overall purpose here. Yeah, this brings about this is the sacrifice or the challenges that bring forth the opportunities and the blessings. This is the growth that we achieve or the life that comes through after endings, death, transformation, loss, and failure. Grand rising. 10. Something's got to go in order for something else to come back around. Fertility, we have fertility and fruitfulness. Why do I see 10? It's 12, adding up to the 3 that we spoke about up until now, about partnership, alliances, and so on. Powerful image, right? So some will be experiencing loss and scars at the end. Belial also has to do with, well, mental illness, and whereas others are expanding on this end. So it's even past that point that this is about already starting to work with one another, help, support one another, and so on. But choose the people you're going to interact with wisely. The loss of foundations and the setting of the new ones, which in reality are the old restored, restoration. And so amazing opportunities for growth and expansion. But again, we're called to make the necessary changes. Let go of what we're no longer willing to build with. Pursuits are no longer relevant to us. Having our priorities clearly revealed, aligned in intentions and nature of our heart. And again, the energy of all for one, one for all. Whomever doesn't participate and falls at the end of, divine judgment, ultimate karmic debt to be paid, they're also getting their own opportunity. But first, loss, transformation, right, for them. For anyone else at this other end, you have to continue to expand and explore and participate. The world needs you. It's counting on you to do so. So, fertility. Now, back to karma angels. We have the healing in reverse. Yes, the things that are past the point of healing. This speaks that the shift has already occurred here. We're already at the moment where things need to be brought together and right with this. The change has already occurred. Mama. We have 2 cards, and here's the 10 I was seeing, 19. Elemaya. And 7. Daniel in reverse. This is a warning of some sort. Or some clarity that we're going to get. Okay, 19. Beginning, independence, freedom, liberation, putting a rest to something. Revolution energy, most definitely. Now, let's see what Elemaya. Elemaya speaks of regeneration and renewal. Again, that energy of something can be restored, can be healed. We don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. We can still see what is useful to us. We're just going to use it differently because our intentions are different. Whether that's devices, technology, whatever it is that we've conquered, and we're paying dearly for it, right? We see now. It's still going to be useful to us. I do apologize. Just a moment. No, we don't care. Okay, we're going to continue. Okay, no distraction. This is an angel who's strongly associated with water. You heard the water in the sink? Yeah, there's a problem. And all that water symbolizes healing, flowing, and freely giving, with no intentions or ego attached to it, personal needs, or this is who I am. There are those who are going to be illuminated by your energy, healed, restored to life, and so on. And others that will be shattered instantly. It's because they don't have the ability to receive whatever it is that you embody or emanate without them shattering on the spot, because they didn't achieve that necessary state for them to be able to comprehend, fully receive, and integrate what you're channeling, what you embody, and so on, what you bring forth, right? So the divine attribute within you, now fully, in this specific one, fully embodied, embraced, and channeled into the world. Some will be able to take it, others will not. You have to be aware of that. Okay. He supports positive change through challenging experiences. So you are asked to take a risk with your heart and be generous at this time, and you will be protected and rewarded for your offering. The challenge is giving without expectation of return. The lesson is life is a constant flow of possibilities. Powerful. Remiel, what are you trying to tell us here? Well, at least the Libras within this specific group of sparks, number 7, your 7th house again. Surveyor of souls, karma, back to karma. Some form of restitution, or you coming to full understanding of, nobody gets away with anything. That was the lie. That was the great illusion. And even if you already felt you were passed through the funnel, you couldn't see why, or some pay beforehand for whatever it is that they're meant to become, right? The sacrifice, that's what it is. Others need to pay. One way or the other, no one gets away with not having to be corrected, restored, brought back to being what they were created to be. And being passed through the same process all of us are, that allows them to be transformed or growing into whatever it is that they need to become, depending on the level of limitation, forgetfulness, or how far from source they are. That's how much growth they need to achieve. Example, if you want to become a doctor, you're going to study a lot more, right, than something specific, and it's the same for any of us. So you haven't been punished, right? You were being shaped, formed, returned to source, etc., refined, corrected. His name means Remiel, thunder of God. If you come as thunder, again, don't be apologetic for who you are or what you are called to embody at this time. He who watches over mankind, this may be the actual archangel that you're channeling right now. This card speaks of taking time to prepare for the future, not burning stages, remember? Being able to handle this energy that you yourself are embodying, whether that's a vision, a passion, a fire, a decision. Remiel is there for you as long as you stay the course and do not deviate from the plan. Clear ideas are important here. Not because you're moved by egoism, in the sense of you only being incentivized by feedback, or no, falling back in egoism is not the point. But holding the vision is important, because at this point, the vision is not yours. If you connect with the divine mind and you become that holy, sacred, divine vessel through which he either experiences or manifests or acts within the world, then it's his vision that you're manifesting, not yours. You're simply aligning to it. Remiel is there for you as long as you stay the course, therefore. So even forces cannot assist us should we choose to exercise or what we perceive as such, challenge, whether our own nature, betray ourselves, defy the signs, the calling of our conscience, the passions as they arise. If we refuse to work with them, they will refuse to work with us. Just a moment. So, electricity. So there will be innovations, discoveries, and it's where science is finally seen as the mere means or attempt of an interpretation of the actual spiritual dynamics of this reality, the metaphysical. So yes, you will experience, embody, feel, experience, and manifest things that defy all the laws that we thought we had or knew. Or reality is about to shift. I'm sorry, let me go back to it for a moment. Because Remiel have something else to deliver here. The challenge is, can you hold back until you have a clear plan? The lesson is persistence breeds possibilities. That resilience that we are talking about, the emperor, doesn't just give up. They will make a way where there is none. This speaks about that independence, whereas you have connection straight with the divine, defy all odds, even your own limitations, and become whatever you're called to be. By the time you realize it, should you try and put a label on it or look back and see what just happened here, then there's the actual reward comes in the full acknowledgement of, hey, this was God all along. I just finally allowed him to. He broke me in order to permeate me, infuse me, manifest in the world through me. How amazing is that? So, as above, so below. Things are coming into alignment, which means that most of those who are either corrupt or reverted or distorted or have to be fully either obliterated. In this case, to obliterate them means to flip them on their head. What if this isn't true? What if this is true? What is it, right? Dealings or relationship with an older man. This is also the rise of the masculine attribute of fire, however that translates within you, whether that's alchemized passion or it's just life purpose, vision. But the rulers are coming back. This is a transformation of the masculine that needed to die within the waters of the feminine. If you're wondering why you couldn't have relationship, the feminine was needing to basically hold certain vibrations, and for humanity as a whole and achieve as a whole integration, we needed to have both, whomever embodied whichever of the energies, both the conscience and the subconscious, our willpower in alignment with the feminine aspects of it that's supposed to either birth or. So we needed to align basically the light with the cup, with the vessel, with the cup, to find that channel. So feminine embodying darkness, the receptive force, right? Whereas attribute, whereas masculine is about manifestation. It's the emanating or the bestowing force. Before we could move, right? We had to make sure each of us is centered, is restored, is all of the things that could have once again manifested something corrupt into the world had to be restored, corrected, and so if the feminine is corrupt, she births monsters. If the seed is not right, motivation, the actions, the intentions, the gestures, again, we birth something that is either dysfunctional, problematic. It all starts with the seed, obviously. But the seed is pointless without the fertile land to plant within. So that's why I believe humanity is ready to work with one another. Relationship-wise speaks of power couples. Persevere, the camel. I have enough. I'll keep on going. Even if I'm walking through the desert, you carry within you, you embody whatever hope there is for anyone encountering you on their path, or some may see it, others may need it, others who do not need it, others will try and prevent you, and so on. They feel threatened by whatever it is that you embody, that you have within you already. I have what I need right now, right here. This is holding that presence with trust in the process, resilience, resistance, not being intimidated by the external current circumstances, holding that vision, that destination, and crossing the desert if you have to. This is also about pacing yourself based on fair assessment of what is available to you, but also taking it upon you there where you feel you have an excess of resource to understand that it needs to be channeled properly. Don't burn stages. Oh, I opened here. Before the angels have accomplished their tasks, they are called man. When they have accomplished it, they are called angel. Angels. Bershit Rabbah. It's exactly what I was trying to tell you. You are focusing purely on the negative, but there is also a positive. Again, remember, you have to see both. You are positive side, you are not seeing, you're about to. Your mental attitude, once it clicks, nothing can stop. Your mental attitude and thoughts can make things seem good or bad, beautiful or ugly. All is a matter of perception. What you think you shall become, be positive, for behind the perceived darkness there is much love, light, and good fortune. So it's about you holding that vision, that hope, that faith, that trust, regardless of reality, not by ignoring it, not by labeling it, not by avoiding it, not manifest from truth, even if you have to first clash against it in its ugly form, painful form. That should be the very, people seem to think that it's going to be something positive that either awakens a spirit back, a spark back to purpose. No, it's some form of a death or transformation. Yeshua entered the tomb. He left the world, physical world, right? And he came back to show us exactly that very process. You must first die before, you must first suffer before you actually choose to manifest, alchemize said suffering, turn lead into gold, earth into heaven. Shalom.